Have you ever noticed how strange SpongeBob's world actually is? Think about it. Bikini Bottom is an entire city under the sea, filled with perfectly functional homes, electricity, restaurants, and even money, all existing at the bottom of the ocean. But what if none of it is real? What if SpongeBob's world isn't under the sea, but under something much darker? According to a chilling fan theory, the entire show takes place in a child's afterlife, specifically, a child who drowned near a place called Bikini Atoll. That's a real location in the Pacific Ocean, where the US once tested nuclear bombs. It's said the radiation created strange life forms in the nearby waters, and in this theory, SpongeBob and his friends are those mutated spirits. Notice how SpongeBob acts, endlessly happy, like a soul that never grew up. Patrick is lazy and forgetful, like he doesn't remember who he was. Squidward's bitterness and obsession with music could represent guilt. Maybe he survived when the others didn't. And Mr. Krabs? He's obsessed with money, as if clinging to the last piece of the human world he remembers. Even the Krusty Krab resembles a military mess hall, and the chum bucket next door, it's filled with failed experiments, broken creatures trying to be alive. Bikini Bottom isn't some cheerful ocean town, it's a distorted reflection of a world lost to radiation and tragedy. And here's the most disturbing part. In one episode, SpongeBob says, I'm ready, over and over, like he's preparing for something. But what if he's not getting ready for work? What if he's trying to convince himself he's ready to move on but can't? So the next time you laugh at SpongeBob flipping Krabby Patties, remember, his world might be more than a cartoon. It might be the remains of one that was never supposed to exist. Everyone loves the Krusty Krab, the best burger joint under the sea. But what if I told you the Krusty Krab hides a terrifying secret? One that explains why no one ever questions what's really inside a Krabby Patty, and why Plankton can never seem to get the formula. Let's start with the name, Krusty Krab. Why is it spelled with a K? Some fans believe it's to distract you, to make it sound silly, while hiding something much darker. In early sketches of the show, the Krusty Krab was actually designed after a lobster trap. You know, the kind fishermen used to catch and kill sea creatures. The restaurant itself is shaped like one, so maybe it's not just a restaurant, maybe it's a trap. Here's where it gets creepier. Mr. Krabs is obsessed with money, that's obvious. But how does he make so much when there are barely any customers? Have you ever noticed, we never see anyone actually eating the Krabby Patty, except SpongeBob and his friends. Some fans believe that's because the main ingredient is them. The theory goes that Mr. Krabs uses the remains of fish who go missing in Bikini Bottom to make his famous burgers. Think about it, he lives in a literal anchor, he's a crab, and he's surrounded by sea life. Yet somehow, he runs a business that serves meat. Where is that meat coming from in a world full of talking sea creatures? And maybe that's why Plankton isn't just the villain, he's the only one who knows the truth. He's not trying to steal the formula, he's trying to expose it. In some episodes, when he calls crabs evil or heartless, it might not be a joke, maybe it's a warning. Now here's the part most people miss. In one episode when SpongeBob makes a batch of Krabby Patties too perfectly, Mr. Krabs panics and destroys them, yelling they're not supposed to look like that. Why not? Maybe SpongeBob accidentally made them the right way, without the secret ingredient. And remember that metallic sound the grill always makes when SpongeBob flips a patty. That isn't the sound of a spatula hitting metal. Some fans think it's the faint sound of chains, the same kind used in traps on fishing boats. So, what if the Krusty Krab isn't just a restaurant, but a factory for something far worse? A place where Mr. Krabs isn't cooking food, he's recycling souls. Next time you see SpongeBob smiling as he flips patties, look closer at his eyes. Does he look happy, or does he look trapped? Everyone knows SpongeBob as the cheerful sponge who lives in a pineapple under the sea. But what if I told you that wasn't always the case? Before the show we know today, there was supposedly another version of SpongeBob, one that Nickelodeon never wanted anyone to see. According to an online rumor that's been spreading in animation circles, the very first SpongeBob pilot wasn't the same bright and happy cartoon. It was called SpongeBoy Ahoy. The test tape was shown privately to executives in 1997, and it was never released. But people who claim to have seen it say it was different. In this version, SpongeBob's voice was quieter, slower. He spoke like he didn't understand where he was. His eyes were bigger, almost too realistic. The Krusty Krab was darker, with broken windows and a constant echo in the background, like someone was crying. And there was one disturbing detail everyone seems to remember. SpongeBob kept asking, "Where did everyone go?" over and over again. Halfway through the pilot, the screen flickered. SpongeBob was suddenly alone in the kitchen, flipping patties that weren't there. He turned toward the camera, and said, "I don't like being empty." The audio warped, and for a few seconds, viewers reported hearing faint bubbling, like something sinking deeper into the ocean. Then a face flashed on the screen. Some say it looked like Spongebob, but his eyes were hollow, and his square shape was starting to collapse, like he was melting underwater. After that test screening, the studio shut down production for weeks. When the show finally came back as SpongeBob SquarePants, the art style was brighter, happier, and faster. But here's the strange part. A few sound effects from that original version still appear in the real show. Listen closely. The low rumble that plays whenever something scary happens, that sound comes from the lost tape. And if you pause certain episodes at just the right moment, SpongeBob's reflection in the Krusty Krab windows doesn't always match his movements. Fans believe that's the original SpongeBob, the prototype, trapped between frames, trying to be remembered. So maybe SpongeBob isn't just a cartoon. Maybe he's something that was replaced. A version that was never meant to smile again, but still exists, hidden in the background, waiting for the day someone finds the full tape.